So, I just watched a simply stereotypical, cliched rom-com this time, which as it happens, and I really never thought I would think at all positively about cliche and stereotypical. I mean, nothing any different from the likes of Bride Wars, which, well, the only thing that wasn't stereotypical were the wars themselves. Anyway, yeah, but honestly, sometimes unconventional is not better, as we found out just earlier with so-called silver lining playbook. I have no idea how to solve it. Anyway, I already said my bit there. But yeah, one of those things. But seriously, seriously, right? Like, yeah. Um, this movie I just watched was rated by a total of, and this is 4 years now, or is it five? I suppose, oh, five. No, I suppose more like four. But anyway, somewhere like that. Not even a total of 2,000 people rated it, as opposed to, and this was supposed to be a rom-com as well. I mean, it's only lying really, this silver lining nonsense, but it does dub itself as a rom-com with drama added in, but idiotic drama by itself as well. So yeah, it was seen by more than 500,000. I guess only stupid films are seen by more people. That makes sense, of course. Why not? Um, I mean, I'm not saying anything here about like how much better than the average rom-com this Christmas list was. I mean, I can't believe, honestly, I still cannot believe how many Christmas movies there are, especially movies with Christmas in the title. Unbelievable. But you know what? Better than some. Like, I seriously cannot get away from how idiotic Silver Lining Playbook was. Right? It even had it even it even was supposed to have a bit of Christmassy nonsense at the end. That I got to admit this movie I just watched now had way more than just a bit, but at least it was in the title, so people knew what they were in for. Whereas with Silver Lining nonsense, people would go in thinking it is a rom-com. Not sure enough. I usually appreciate unconventional movies, So just because it wasn't as cliched and stereotypical rom-com doesn't mean that in fact, I think I'm more likely to enjoy such things, at least by past account. Not this one. It was idiotic. All the reasons in the recording there. So let's just not get into that other movie for now. But sure enough, I mean, Christmas List said it was a rom-com, and sure enough, it was. Huh? Can accuse it of not being what it was supposed to be about, which the other movie did. You know, had no comedy whatsoever. This actually had some. I mean, honestly, I laughed more than I did. The movie has had no comedy whatsoever, right? Apart from 5 seconds maybe. I don't think that justifies a whole genre. You know. So anyway, I'm only comparing them because I've watched them end to end. So yeah. Yeah, sure. I'm not saying this is not stereotypical. It's the most stereotypical thing ever. It's obviously a movie from a channel which produces practically an industry of cheap movies, all for TV. But you know what? Sometimes, in my opinion, they're better than mass-produced Hollywood nonsense, millions of dollars, and somehow make it 11 times as much. The world goes ridiculous sometimes as well. Now, just clearly it's obscure here, but you know, I don't know if many people compare the two. But anyway, I'm just saying, it's very over the top in the sense that it's at least it begins like that. I couldn't believe that any adults would be so much into the holiday, bit too much. Like it's one thing for a child to want to fulfill everything there somehow. For a what was she like over 30 or something ridiculous? So yeah, I was not accusing you of being realistic or anything, but then again, these things are made for realism. I mean, it's not exactly fantastic or anything. It's doesn't involve any fantasy, but it had some comedic moments, and that's swell by me really. I mean, it's not a comedy powerhouse or anything, but with regards to the like the bit where he gives her the chain and says they didn't have any inner tubes. Yeah, small things like that were funny. Honestly, that was more comedy than Silver Lining nonsense was had the entire movie probably. But and best thing ever is that this movie didn't have people talking over each other. But anyway, let's just not con- continue to compare the two. So yeah, otherwise this one was, in fact, it's more comparable, I guess, to well, should be compared more to, I guess, the other Christmas movie, and literally these are all the posters are practically identical. They all have two people on them. Like, what is wrong with the Christmas movie industry? Can they make any other sort of posters? Anything at all? Literally, I'm seeing this. They're all like, okay, if it's not two, but they're all virtually identical. So like in the first page here, there's two others with two couples. One I'm not entirely sure here. Just say this seems at least it doesn't. Another one has three people. Another one has five. Another one has a couple. I think couples predominate. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, okay, there is one at least that was a bit inventive with people inside a box. So that's pretty much it. So just one inventive poster. So on that count, I'm not accusing it of being imaginative. I mean, these are pretty cheap movies anyway. Ultimately, it's not the poster, obviously, that really matters. Seriously, this other movie, and yes, okay, this is the last time I'm comparing it. This other movie. Sure enough, the poster is intriguing. With yeah, funnily enough, two people on them as well. But just has a thing in the middle or something slightly more edited, at least I think. But yeah, ultimately the content is really what counts. Anyway, yeah. Least Christmas list had no mention of football on it. Yay! I swear, man, I've never seen a more boring movie. Anyway, yeah. More directly comparable though to Guess Who's Coming that I've recently watched. And you know what? Yeah, I think it was better. It had no sermons. That's good. And just a bit of caroling, but not really a lot at all, just a few seconds, so that's kind of better. I don't know, just a lot of singing would make it too stereotypical. I think it had more comedy as well. So yeah, and on the aspect, not too bad. Um, Otherwise, though, fairly stereotypical, really. I think this one did have though more themed things, so yeah. But then again, it advertises it in the title, so nobody can say it's not what it says it intends to be about. At least it had a bit of comedy, no, not too much, so just a bit. But it as a rom com, it sort of works. It's average, though at best. Not below average though, at least.